Welcome back, everybody. Trying something new today. We are in the combine. Not sure how, but somehow managed to do it. So this is kind of new for me. I've done it a little bit before, not in this combine, but it is going pretty smooth as of right now. So we don't have many people here today, so that's why I managed to slip myself into the combine. Get a little bit of action in the seat here. That right there is the grain filling into the combine, and that right there is what's being shelled. So this is super new for me, pretty much, and I've never been in a combine that drives itself, but we're in one. So I don't know what to do. I'm sitting here just watching the numbers and doing my own thing, I guess. But everything has gone smooth. Got some loads taken to the elevator this morning. That's about it. It's been going pretty slow. Not had many people helping drive trucks or anything. So been taking a while to get crop out of the field, but we're managing. So that's all that matters. So I will talk to you guys a little bit here about shelling corn from a combine's perspective. So it's a lot different than watching it happen from the grain cart, which is pretty much what I do all the time. And it is super easy. You just click here to start the separator in the head. That's all you do. You want to make sure to do those in low RPMs, and then once you've got that done, you then want to put the head down, which we have it set for 2, and then it'll drop the head, and you just drive into it and click auto, and it'll just stay on the line then. So it's super easy. I learned pretty quick. It takes some getting used to drive something that steers from the rear end, but it wasn't hard. It's not bad at all. So I'm back. Sorry, had to turn around there. It doesn't quite do that yet for me. But I'll show you a little bit what's going on in the monitor. This number right here, this is the moisture of the corn, which I talked about moisture a lot last week in last week's video. And we're getting into some pretty high corn right now. We're getting into about 21, 22 right there, showing 20s, and then it'll get into a higher spot in the field and it'll drop down because it didn't have much moisture throughout the year. But if we keep going, we'll get to that another low spot, and it'll get pretty high again. Like right now, it's down there pretty low. So that's about where we want it, about 16%. But then the number above that right here is bushels an acre, and that is pretty much telling us how much is coming off of the field in acre, and that number is off by about 10 bushels, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about that. I was just told that before I got in. So it is okay crop. You want it to be about 250 or so, but we're hitting anywhere from 270 to 230 in that area. And we're getting into some green corn, which you can see some green on the leaves still. And yeah, it is getting pretty high when you get into stuff like that because it hasn't dried out completely yet. Yep, we're at 21% right now. So that's quite high. We are hauling back to the farm and putting it in the dryer, trying to get it to come down a little bit so we're not getting docked so much at the elevator. So it is currently 4:30. We have gotten, let's come over here, almost 20 acres done so far today. And I'll show you a little bit through here. You can change the screens and see everything that's happening. You can see your guidance, you have a camera, and then just an overview of all of it in a summary pretty much. And the tractor does not have that because there's not much data being brought into the tractor like that. So it's a lot more to handle in here. There's a lot more numbers and everything to it, but I'm gonna slow down now because the RPMs, if they start to go down a little bit, that means that the thrasher's kind of slowing down, getting some thicker corn, maybe some wetter corn. So you need to slow down to let the machine catch up to itself. But I will catch you guys when I get down here to dump into the grain cart. So currently I am unloading. This auger right here folds back when you're not using it and out when you're using it like it is. And that's gonna get full and I'm gonna have to move back. Just like that. Gonna fill up a little more. Have to back up. But yeah, just like that. Everything through a combine is all through a hydrostat, like when you move, which is not just a throttle that you just push and pull back, and then gears that you go through. It's a lot different in a combine. It's all done right here. You just pull it back and the machine moves back, push it forward and the machine moves forward. It's all just as simple as that. And the gears are 3, 2, and 1, and then here's your speeds, which that just slowed the combine's RPMs down, which you can then shut the auger off. But you don't want to start the machine up when you are in a higher RPM because it's really hard on the machine, and you're not supposed to do that because it tears stuff up really quickly. But I'm going to get back into the field here and start showing some more. So, when crop enters this machine, it is just entering through the front and it goes into a big thrashing unit which grinds it down and separates the stalk from the ears, and then it goes in and gets like ground up, not like actually grinds up the crop, but it'll separate it from the cob to the crop, and then the crop will just go into the leg that's on the side of this machine and come up and up through this auger and in. And then when it enters the head, it just comes in the throat down here. So everything from the side is being brought into the middle with an auger and then comes right through the center. It is super simple of a design. Combines are super easy. They're easy to work on when it comes to chains and everything because that's pretty much what runs them all. And everything on them is chains and belts. But it all comes from the motor and then goes into all these individual aspects of the machine. So we are getting into some pretty good corn. I'm seeing some 300 every once in a while, and that is super good. And the machine isn't letting me run 4.5, have to come down a couple to about 4.2, and then that is doing super good. So I really appreciate you guys for watching this video. I know it wasn't the most entertaining, but farming isn't always the funnest. Just trying to get things done efficiently, and because we do have some high winds supposed to be here this weekend, up to about 50 miles an hour. So we need to get as much crop out of the field as we can because all of the crop is dead, so it makes it pretty easy to fall over with wind damage or heavy rain and stuff like that. So trying to get as much out as we can just to keep things on the safe side. We won't have it all out by any means, but if we can just keep moving, that's more crop that we can get brought out of the field. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.